Two Notes have just released an update to Genome version 1.11 with a new amp, new speaker cabinet, a bunch of drive pedals. And we're going to check it out in this video. Timestamps for everything below. Also, just want to mention this is provided by Two Notes pre-release. So being pre-released, there could be some things that may look slightly different or be called slightly different. Most likely not, but could. And also, this was provided for free, so just so you know. But just listen and make up your own mind. So what's new? This is new. Main thing is we've got some official brand release things. So this is an officially released Jupiter Effects by Chris Jupiter amplifier, the Titan 250. So it's a 250 watt amp, behemoth of an amp made by Jupiter Effects. We also have by Jupiter Effects the Stack 612 Vintage. So this is a 6x12 cabinet with vintage 30 speakers in it. So that's a new amp and speaker. There's also a whole bunch of drives. So we've got the Beardo, which is fuzz phase, as you can probably tell. We've got the Binge Fuzz, which is based on a Tone Bender Mark 1. We have the Germanium Love, which is based on harmonic percolator. I think this is possibly a Catalan bred sort of version. It looks like it, but harmonic percolator. We've got the Gherkin Fuzz, which is based on the Swollen Pickle Fuzz. I mean, it's all very self-explanatory when you look at that stuff. We have also drive pedal-wise, we've got the Jupiter Effects Warlow. So I think it's sort of Jupiter Effects take on a big muff, but maybe some rat style things and filter options in it as well. We have the Thug, which is noisy, and it's the Ola England pedal. Chug, is it called the Chug? Is that he calls everything Chug, doesn't he? And then we've got the Tim, which is based on a Timmy. I've also made a bunch of presets. These ones, which we're going to go through. Actually, let's go back to the first one, B standard, because it's for B standard tuning. So I'm going to go through all these presets, looking at all the different new elements in it. Like I said, timestamps for everything below. Also, you can download these presets somewhere. It'll be at some stage in the description, wherever it'll be. All right, now setup-wise, I'm gonna, to begin with anyway, use this very heavy guitar, which is Halberd, or I call it Halberd, which is a parts guitar, and there's a video for it up here, or playlist. I'm going to put a playlist up here. Put together a bunch of people. So it's a parts caster concierge walnut body that he made, with beautifully made. The craftsmanship is amazing on this thing. With a Robot Graves aluminium neck and tailpiece. This is the third, or THRD, tunable harmonic resonance device. So this is the bridge here, and you can, with these little sliders here, tune the notes behind the bridge. And then we have two amazing pickups by Mr. Glenn's Pickups. This is the Drake, his kind of Doom style pickup, and this is just a pickup, another pickup that sits behind the bridge, which we may or may not be using at all today. This is the Sub 6 pickup, which is currently not connected, but it's there, and it's part of that playlist. There's a video of it as well, and a link to the playlist in the description below as well. So that goes via my Peterson Strovosomp HC tuner, which is over my desk, straight into my Audient ID44 interface, and then straight into Logic, which is recording this. No post editing or anything done, no EQ, no nothing. What you're hearing is just direct what Genome sounds like. So this is the Titan. In that particular sound, on a clean channel, on channel 1, slight overdrive, slightly overdriven like Age of Breakup, going into this 6x12 cabinet by Jupiter Effects, and also into this, which I love, these warning cabinets. This is a 4x15 in a metal enclosure cabinet, which I love these things. And then a little bit of studio reverb, which is, I think, just Studio A maybe? Studio A or Studio B, one of them, with the wet dry down a little bit. But these are the settings, just to give a little bit of a room sound, right? So this is channel 1. Let's just have a quick listen to. This guitar is in B standard tuning, and it sounds like this. So it's a big fat sounding amp. Also I should show here, I've got the two speakers sort of panned, one a little bit to the left, one a little bit to the right. I just like that sort of sound. I like using two speakers. It's a good sounding amp. Now you've got channel 1, which basically got a gain and a volume control. You've got a bright switch, which is currently on. You also have a fat switch, which is just gives you more bottom end. To me, it's almost too much. Especially with low tuning, it's almost too much. You also have a dedicated boost. So this is a boost that boosts the front end of the amp, I'm guessing. So without it, it's very clean. I like that boost. This is just for that preset. We'll go through it all. And then you've got an EQ with a tone shift. Now, to me, the tone shift sounds like it's a lot. It adds even more bottom end, maybe low mids as well. But sort of definitely on the lower frequency side of things, the tone shift when you turn it on. And then you've got the power amp switch, so you can turn the power amp section off. Basically meaning you can run it into one of the TSM power amp simulation thingies, and then you've got the on and off switch. You can change to channel 2, so this is again just a preset, same thing. You've got a fat and a bright switch. This is the sound. Also, it remembers, so for example, the boost and EQ settings are, if you check the boost and EQ, it changes ever so slightly between channel 1 and channel 2. Also have the tone shift off in channel 2. This is channel 2. Without the boost. Almost a bit dark without the bright switch. With the low tunings in particular, and then the fat switch makes it almost too fat with the low tuning. But whatever you want with this. So this is almost on full gain. You can clean it up a little bit more. But I quite like the sound gained up with the boost engaged, and boost is almost on full as well. I think that's a killer sound. Let's go back to the clean channel. Without the boost, this is kind of what it sounds like. You can gain it up a bit more. But I quite like where it was sort of somewhere there with the boost on. Muck around with the EQ. Let's just check without the tone shift now, then the clean channel. Definitely adds a lot of bottom end if we now add the fat instead. Whole different beast. So this, it's that, to me, it's that whole lower end of frequencies from sort of low mids to lows. It just goes and boosts it all. I think it sounds killer. So let's go back to the presets. Now let's try out the Beardo. So I've got the Beardo running in front of it, fuzz phase style fuzz. I quite like the sound of this running into it. So at these settings, killer. If we clean up, let's get rid of the boost, let's clean up the amp. So this is the amp now cleaner. Personally, I like it with the boost on. And then for this preset, I thought, let's add some verb, the tetraverb, which I love with these settings. I like the tension really low, so it's boingy, as wide as possible, just for some extra ambiance. And then for some more extra ambiance, the Hera 60, it's like almost like a flangey sort of sound. So that swirly flangery thing that goes between the speakers. And then I thought, why not? Let's chuck a dual octaver in front of it as well, to because I mean, when you're in B standard tuning, you want to go even lower to do this. So that's a preset called B standard because it's for a guitar that's in B standard. I don't know, it's hard coming up with these stupid names. All right, next one. Let's move on. Huge Fuzz. So I'm going to use once again the Jupiter Effect Titan on these settings, going into the same 4x12, but now I'm using a 1x8 Super Vintage Special to get that little bit of extra poke, which I quite like. I like combining small speakers with bigger speakers often, and I actually have the smaller speaker a little louder, and again, pan 20% left and right, with that same studio reverb. I don't know if I can share, it's a preset I call Gabor's Room. That's just what I always use. I think it's one of the, just a room studio A or Studio B with a dry wet turned down. And this has got the Jupiter Warlow in front of it now. So if I turn a Warlow off, this is just a Titan again. But I really like that little bit of, well, A, studio reverb to get that room sound. Oh no, actually this has got a bit of pre-delay as well. That's right, I forgot. I put a bit of pre-delay in it just to get that sort of slapbacky kind of sound. Yeah, so this is actually, sorry, I was wrong before. This is, I think, the one called Slapback, but with the wet dry turned down a bit. So that's a preset of that. Yeah, and I really like that when you do the, so this one's a 1x8. So this is the 1x8 sound. It's a bit pokier, and if you just have the 6x12, It's almost a bit dark, so combined. Okay, it gives it pokes out a little bit more. It gives it a bit more definition. And then, I don't know, that's a dirty channel. Actually, I didn't do anything to the dirty channel, so that's just a clean channel like that. Bass turned down a bit with the tone switch, tone shift up, treble up a bit. The boost is off, and the bright switch is off, and the fat switch is off. Now, Jupiter Warlow. Let's turn it on. So basically you've got a 9 volt and 18 volt switch up here for headroom. And you've got this switch, which I'm not 100% sure what it does, but it gives you different filter options, I think. Maybe one's more Big Muff-esque, one's more Rat-esque, and then I think there's one where it's off, maybe, or set to a certain thing. Anyway, let's listen to it at the preset setting that you can download, the HUUUUUUUGE Fuzz, which sounds like this. Switch to 9 volt. Is maybe a little clearer, right? Okay, then you've got normal volume distortion control. Now you've got a filter. So on the up setting at the moment, it sounds like this. Then you go to the down position. It's getting quite loud. I don't know if the filter even works there. If it does, it's quite a subtle filter. And then you've got the middle position. To me, I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but to me, middle position maybe sounds a bit more like a Big Muff style thing, where it gets very trebly at the top. Whereas in the top position, it's maybe more like a Rat. More like a Rat style filter, but back to front. I like it somewhere around here. In the top position, then you can turn the distortion down. Now let's quickly try this out with a different guitar. So this is a Mosite Ventures guitar made in Japan that I really like for that sort of sound, that kind of fuzzy, overdriven kind of, you know, heavy kind of sound. This is in D standard tuning and without the Warlow, so just with the Jupiter Titan and the cabinets like that and a little bit of sort of slapbacky studio reverb. It sounds like this. I like the really punchy pickups in here. Now with the Warlow, it sounds like this. the bright switch is almost too much with that. Boost is almost too much for that as well. I really quite like that sound like that. So it's roughly, I mean, that's sort of roughly where it was, I think, wasn't it? So that's Warlow going into the Jupiter Tide. Now let's check out another preset. Let's go to the next preset. The Lords of the Underworld. Well, that's the, you know, Timmy, Lord of the Underworld. The Tim, which I think is a killer sounding drive. Let's quickly check it with this, and then we'll check a different guitar as well in standard tuning. So we've got the Tim going into a, I really like this Cali Delight 57. It's actually turn it off just so you can hear it. So that goes into this AE Peggy Rocket 1x12 on one side and a Jensen Vibro 2x10 on the other side. So single 12 and 2x10. Again, I like that sort of 20 left, 20 right. The 2x10 is a little louder, the 1x12 is a little quieter, and then going into that studio reverb again. Now this is back to what I call Gabor's room, which I'm pretty sure is either Studio A or B, I don't know, with the wet dry down a little bit, just to give a little bit of room sound. So this is the amp without the Tim. Now the Tim, let's quickly check out the Tim as well. So we've got bass, treble, gain and volume, and you've got a clipping switch in the middle. So this is the way I have it set for this particular preset, that if you want to download Lords of the Underworld, it sounds like this. Killer sound, and you've got the clipping switch, so you can go, I was in the middle before, you can go to the right. I think that sounds killer. Let's do guitar in standard tuning now. Alright, so I'm going to be using this guitar, which is a lovely, lovely Gordon Smith, the Gatsby, and there's a video for it up here on loan from Gordon Smith. P90, standard tuning, same sound. So this is the Lords of the Underworld preset. Sounds like this. I think that sounds killer. You can turn the gain down a bit. Actually, gain down sounds great too. I sort of like it somewhere there. I mean, try a different clipping option. beautifully dynamic. I mean, that's... Personally, I like the clipping in the middle the best. It's sort of the most open sounding to me. And I reckon anywhere from sort of about, I don't know, 10 o'clock to sort of 2, 3 o'clock. Can't go wrong. That's a killer sound. That's the Timmy, or Tim, with the Lords of the Underworld preset that I've done. The next one, Percolated Coffee. It's a similar sort of effects chain. So I've got the Cali Delight, same settings, I believe, going into the same 2 cabinets, into the same studio room. I added a tetraverb at the end because I like it. And the GE Love. So with this, we've got diodes, density, output, and input. Usually, harmonic percolator, you only have the input and the output, so you kind of either push the output stage or the input stage. It's a great pedal harmonic percolator. You turn the input down, you can crank the output a bit, you get a totally different sound. Crank both, it goes fuzzy. Then you've got diodes, which does this. To me, it just goes kind of cleaner if you go to the left, and then it gets fuzzy as you turn it up clockwise. So it's more of an overdrive, and if you go that way, it kind of gets crunchier and fuzzier. And kind of same with this. You got. So if you turn both of them up, and the input up, and the output up. It goes super fuzzy. Killer sound. To me, I like that bit cleaner maybe for this particular sound. But I really think it sounds fantastic, particularly running into this Cali Delight. That's a great amp, actually. I really, really like that amp on here. Let's check out the next preset while we're doing these things. Bender Binge. So this is the Binge Fuzz, which is a tone bender kind of thing. Going into another one of my favorite amps on here, Samhain, which is a Sun amp kind of sort of thing, into the clean channel. Going into a Friedman 4x12 Vintage on one side, and a Warning 4x15 Mackenzie on the other side. Again, 2020, but they're both the same in this case, with that same Gabor's Room. Here it actually says the preset here, Gabor's Room reverb, just to get a little bit of room. I like a little bit of room sound. So that same sound, not same sound, but this is the Samhain on the clean channel. Little bit of dirt, not much, but it's pretty much all right in the middle. Presence at 7. Let's turn on a Binge Fuzz. his gain. Tone's tone. Let's try this with a different guitar again. Alright, so I'm going to use this Jazzmaster. I call it Old Red parts guitar that I've put together with a Mad Love pickups, Travis Beanstar pickup in the bridge, which I really like. There's a video for it up here. In standard tuning, Jazzmaster pickups, not P90s, they're different, so more single coil. I mean, P90s are single coil too, but they're different, totally different to P90s. So this is the same, that preset Bend the Binge. This is what it sounds like. We can also go to the dirty channel in here. And then bring the fuzz in. I think it sounds killer. Next presets. George's Gherkin. So this is named after, as in George Trips. I know it's spelled differently, but it's his, well, you know, swollen pickle. So this, again, goes into the Samhain. I think it's the same. We're going into Friedman 4x12 and a Warning 4x15 with that studio reverb. And I've got the studio flanger in the back as well, just because why not? So again, this is the amp without the fuzz. Fuzz. And then for some funsies, I put the studio flanger in the back at those settings. I think it's just the default setting, actually, that I set it on. I like fainters just for some extra movement. Now with the Gherkin Fuzz, we've got loudness, sustain, we've got a voice switch, clip, filter, scoop, and crunch. So sustain is just gain. Filter is the filter. Big surprise. And then it opens up as you turn it up. The voice switch, you've got two different voicing. One a bit brighter, one a bit darker. I went for the darker. Both sound good. Now clipping, so if I turn that down a bit, sort of an extra clipping stage. kind of makes it crunchy and fuzzy. It's like that. It's more of an overdrive. Makes it fuzzier. And same with crunch. Crunch is another one kind of like that. So if you turn clip down, so clip, sustain, and crunch all kind of work together. If you want it fuzzier, turn clip and crunch up. If you want it cleaner, turn clip and crunch down and sustain down. It's a fuzz, so I want clip and crunch up. And then scoop. Scoop does what it says. To me, kind of, it scoops by emphasizing the bass and the treble a bit more. So I think maybe, or I could be wrong, but maybe instead of it dropping the mids, it actually emphasizes bass and treble more, so you get a perceived scoop. Or it is still a scoop, but you're not scooping it, you're adding the others. I think that's just what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong. Some of there. So the other voice switch. Yeah, I like it better than the darker side. And you turn the studio flanger on. Well, that's George's Gherkin anyway. And then I think we got one last one, which was Olaf the Thug. So it's Olaf, because it's Ola England. And yeah, anyway, so it's his, I think, chug pedal. Now that's a preamp pedal. So going into an amp, it will sound very weird. But we're going to use the power amp emulation. And on this particular preset, I like having it on the EL34's push-pull with the pentote, with these settings. Going into an Engel 4x12 XXL cabinet, and again the Warning 4x15. I really like these cabs. And then again, just some studio reverb, just to get a bit of room sound, right? And we're going to do lower tuning as well. But this is the preset sound on a standard tuned Jazzmaster. Let's quickly go to humbucker guitar and standard tuning and then do the drop tuning stuff. So this is my PureSalem Guitars Cardinal with some Mr. Glenn's pickup in there called the Playmaker pickups. There's a playlist for it up here. If it's not up there, it'll definitely be in the description below, because I don't know if I've done 5 of those already, because you can only do 5 per video. So this is standard tuning humbuckers with the Thug, with that set, with the preset, the Olaf the Thug, and it sounds like this. So it's an interesting pedal, right? So you've got a depth control and a presence control, like you would have on an amp. You've got bass, mids, and treble. Then you've got your output volume, and then you've got gain, and you've got low frequency gain and high frequency gain. So it's a weird kind of thing, right? So if I, for example, turn that gain down, and we just listen to low frequency gain. And if I add high frequency gain, so that adds body to low. It's not really a super high gain pedal. And it gets noisy. That's what we've got a noise gate for. Haha. And you've got presence. It gets pretty bright, and you've got depth that gives you a lot of bottom end. Whoa. Let's quickly check it with different power amps. There's EL34s, EL84s, KD88, 606. Personally, like the EL34s a bit. Single-handed, having a contour and a bottom end is nice on that. Too much for me. Maybe KD88s if you go single-ended. Again, loses definition. To me, I don't know, 34s. Let's go low tuning guitar. All right, lastly, we're going to use this Ormsby Hype GTR 7. There's a video for it up here, and if not up here, it's down below. This is tuned down a semitone, so this is in B flat standard. Would you call it that? So it's like yeah, it's down a semitone from what it usually is. So not in B, but yeah, B flat, I guess. Or would you call it that sharp? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. This is a preset sound. Sounds like this. To me, with the low tunings, it's almost too much. As soon as you turn the gain up too much, and it just starts kind of farting out. Maybe not yet, but once you turn it up, you lose that tightness. To me, you've got to back up on the gain a bit. I mean, this is a long enough video as it is. I could go on for a while, but that's the 2 Notes Genome version 1.11 update with a whole bunch of drive pedals, a really cool new amp, cool new speaker cabinet. I think it's always good. I love Genome. I know people will say, yeah, but they give you the stuff for free, but it's not for free because I do videos for it. So, you know, it does take a bit of work to do all this stuff, but I do really, really like Genome. I think Genome for me is one of the best amp sim sort of suites with everything in one out there at the moment. I really, really like it. Check it out. You can try it all out for free anyway, if you don't believe me. But yeah, so that's version 1.11. If there's anything in particular you want to see with any of that stuff in any future videos, let me know in the comments below. Other than that, big thank you to the lovely people at 2Notes, Ross and everyone there. And check out this 2Notes playlist and see you in the next one. Bye.